Alright, what's going on, dudes? It's Stu. So, we're here for another monthly Star Rail Wales log. This is probably the latest I've done a Star Rail Wales log, because it's already halfway through the month and I haven't done this yet. Though, to be fair, I've done the Wales logs for all my other gacha games that I do Wales logs for. So yeah, this is the last one to finish it off for the month of February. Yeah, let's just get into it. No need to stall any further. Because I know I have a few new viewers from who stuck around since my gacha addiction video, I'm going to try to give Star Rail the same treatment that I gave my Genshin Wales logs that I made for this month, where I go over all the characters in my account. For the sake of, in the interest of time, though, I'm not going to go into too much detail regarding their individual artifacts or their individual relic, like power. I'll just quickly go over the stats that you do have, and you know, what they're geared out with, and how well geared, or how well up leveled, their trace trees are, and what their Alons are, and quick plans for each character that I have in the future, if I do have any for them at the moment. So yeah, here we go. Let's start with Tingyun, because she's first up here. So, I use my Tingyun a lot, obviously. She's the resident hypercarry support in the game, at least for now. And yeah, she has 3400 HP, 3000 attack, and 153 speed. I think Tingyun is probably my fastest character, just in terms of raw speed. Feels about right. And she is running no energy regen, surprisingly. Maybe I'll consider running her with energy regen rope later. And she actually has a good bit of effect res. I didn't realize that, but she has some. And she's running. I run her with S5 dance, or I just call it dance for short. Reason why is because this light cone advances all allies' actions forward by up to 24% at S5, and it comes in clutch for things like simulated universe, where you're up against the final boss of that, of that simulated universe world or whatever. I think this applies mainly to the standard simulated universe game mode. For like Swarm and Gold Gears, might be a little bit different, but point is that there are a lot of times where I use Tingyun's ult, and then it lets me steal my turns back when the boss was supposed to go or something. So I really like this light cone, and I try to run it on a lot of my other Harmony characters wherever I can. Wherever if I can't think of a better one to give them, I'll just give it to them. So yeah, I've my Tingyun's run dance for the longest time, ever since I started the game last year. So doubt I'll be changing that. She is fully maxed out because I use her all the time. I mean, she is a fox girl after all, so kind of makes sense. And then she's running, as you might expect, 4-piece musketeer with 2-piece space healing station. Again, I think if I were to change one thing, I may change her rope to energy regen and see how that works, because her ultimate is pretty strong. And she's at E6 because I rolled for a lot of characters, or I rolled for characters a lot back when Star Rail first came out, because that was before I was dead ass broke. So I was able to afford to whale for E6 Tingyun eventually. I think I got lucky with Tingyun because she wasn't even on rate up at the time, but I got lucky with her, and I must have rolled her from like the Stellar Warp banner or something like that, the regular banner at some point, because I did start with a copy of her even though she wasn't on rate up. So, but yeah, there's my Tingyun. So the only changes I would make to her, if I were to make any, are maybe give her a little bit more HP, because 3400 is not too much. I mean, it's not too low either. It's like right about in the middle. Ideally, I'd like to have her at like around 3600 HP, just to be a little bit more comfortable, but it'll do for now. But especially with Tingyun having a knack for getting smacked in the face all the time, even though no one's taunting her. Probably her base aggro is probably a little bit higher than the others. I actually have yet to check if that's the case or not, but there's Tingyun. So yeah, maybe consider changing her rope to energy regen, and then maybe try getting her a little bit more HP, if that's possible. Alright, next up is Jinglu, the second best destruction character in the game, after Daniel Alter, I think, at least in my opinion. My Jinglu has a little bit less than 4k HP. I think standard HP Jinglus have, on average, is like 4,000 or more, so mine's slightly under average, I think. 2400 attack, 130 speed, 35 CR to almost 250 CD. Almost. And let's see here. She has 22 EHR, which doesn't really matter for her because she doesn't put debuffs on people as far as I'm concerned. And she has a little bit of effect res. Remember that Jinglu has one of her bonus abilities gives her like an extra 35% effect res or something like that. Maybe it's specific to like debuffs, I think, or to crowd control stuff. No, it just increases her overall effect res by 35%. So yeah. So any bit of effect res you can give her actually helps out quite a bit. Because it makes her first bonus ability even that much better. So, yeah, those should be her stats, I believe, unless I missed something. Yeah, and she has ice damage boost on her. She has her gacha light cone. Nothing more to say there. And she is fully maxed out because I really like Jinglu. So, and you might notice a pattern here. I'll max out the traces of anyone I actually really like. Those I consider my waifus, so to speak. So. There you go. That I use her basically all the time too, so it made sense. I do run 4-piece ice on her. I know that some builds actually run her with with 4-piece quantum for the defense pierce. But I run my Jinglu pretty standard with the 4-piece ice. Makes enough sense anyway. It's not too bad. And then I run her with 2-piece Rudal Arena. And she's only E0. Most of my 5 stars in Star Rail are going to be E0 with a couple exceptions, as I'll mention later. But yeah, currently I don't really have any additional plans for Jinglu. I think she's perfectly fine as it is. I mean, if I were to min-max her stats, I would love to get her to like, 250 crit damage. And maybe like 40% base crit rate, so that way, when she ults, well, not ults, when she gets into her special skill state, she gets 90% crit rate, but 85% crit rate is good enough for me for now. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know what else to change on her. I'm pretty happy with her as is. So, Natasha, our first healer, or our free-to-play healer. She's got 6100 HP, 130 speed, some crit stats that obviously she can't really use. She does have a little bit of energy regen, but it's not because she has an energy regen rope. It's because I think this is coming from her light cone, I want to say. A little bit of effect res again, or not effect res, EHR, but again, that doesn't really matter on her anyway. And then she has quite a bit of effect res, at 48%. So actually, that's actually pretty big. As is something else with her, but I won't get into that. And before I start sounding like a creep, which given the body pillows in my webcam and behind me on my wall, that's probably given already. But that aside, yeah, she should be getting her extra energy regen from her light cone here. Yeah, and she is. And she is almost maxed out in traces, minus the Tracks of Destiny, of course. Same thing with my Genshin account. I only reserve like Tracks of Destiny level ups for the characters that I actually really, really like. So I treat these basically like crowns, because they basically are. Except you just get more of them in this game. Alright, so currently I'm running Natasha with 4-piece Wandering Cloud and 2-piece Fleet of the Ageless. So I've noticed that out of all my healers, my Natasha is the least performing, and I want to say that has something to do with her relics, because I'm of the opinion that at this point, this Wandering Cloud orbital relic set is just kind of really outdated. And I was having a small little discussion with my chat the other day, because I was wondering out loud on stream, oh, should I get rid of all of my Wandering Cloud pieces, because like I just don't see anybody really wanting to use this. But then some people in my chat were trying to tell me like, oh, you shouldn't get rid of all of them, or you shouldn't get rid of them. You should keep your best pieces still, because you never know if like a relic set will come back into relevance again, right? Come back being meta. But with Wandering Cloud, I just don't know if we're ever gonna use this. Like I think that speed set is just much better on Natasha, because at least with speed set, right? Its 4-piece set can be used over and over and over, because speed set, as you can see here, speed set increases the speed of all allies when the user, right, uses their ult, and it's like a support ult, and so that way its effects can be applied to another ally. And that way, because and considering Natasha has a pretty low cost ult that she can get even faster if I decide to give her an ER, ER rope. that means that she can keep using its 4-piece set over and over and over, whereas with Wandering Cloud, you can only use it once in the entire fight, and that's it, right? At the start of battle, immediately regen, get 1 skill point, so that way you start off with 4 instead of 3. I mean, that's nice for shorter fights. That was really nice for like early game and mid game, but like now in like end game stuff, that extra skill point doesn't really matter. Unless like you have like an opening like routine that really hinges itself on, you know, Wandering Clouds' extra skill point effect. But yeah, I don't know. Not only that, we're gonna get Hanabi soon, pretty soon too. So, and she's basically, you know, she's basically got this 4-piece passerby Wandering Cloud perk anyway. Because, you know, oh, guess what? I get to increase skill points by 2 just by being here. I actually don't know if Hanabi actually gives you 2 extra skill points to start with 2. That might not be the case, but in which case it might not be a fair comparison. But you know, food for thought, right? So yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards switching my Natasha over to 4-piece speed set instead. 4-piece speed, and because I noticed that my Natasha has really high effect res at already 48%, I'm actually considering giving her 2-piece Broken Keela as well, just to give her even more effect res and, you know, some crit damage for the team, of course, because that would be nice. That being said, that's obviously going to mean that I'm gonna need to, you know, overhaul all of her relics. So who knows if she's gonna still have, you know, 48% effect res like before, like she does now. But it's kind of what I'm leaning towards. And well, lastly, I've already mentioned this multiple times, but give her an ER rope instead of HP, so that way she can get her ult a lot faster. Because I think that would fix my main grievance with Natasha, with that she can't really heal her team as much as I would like her to, because everybody else, all the other healers in the game so far, I don't have that same problem with. Like Bailu, obviously she has a way of healing allies, even if she can't heal them directly, right? Because she has her invigoration stacks. If somebody dies, she has a free revive. Lynx's skill can regen HP over time, so at least, I mean, Lynx sort of has the same problem with Natasha, but at the very least, you know, her skill can have multi-heal stages. And I don't think it has a condition on it. It just heals whoever she targets with her skill multiple times, at least twice or something like that. And because Lynx has her debuff removal on her ult, that means that basically she has an on command debuff removal, unlike Natasha, where you have to wait for her turn to use her skill to then remove a debuff on one of your allies. So at least has some nice tools to work with for like endgame stuff. Luocha's we all know what he does. Healing everybody with his healing field, so that way that means that anybody can heal themselves, even if it's just for a little bit, and his auto skill, right, whenever somebody reaches below half HP. And who else am I missing? Oh, I'm missing Huohuo. I don't have her, so I actually don't know how well she plays, but from what I hear, she's really good, so I assume people don't really have a problem with her. So yeah, Natasha's the one healer that I have the biggest problem with whenever I actually use her, but kind of makes sense because she's free. But yeah, those are my plans for trying to make her work better in the future. I just don't know when I'm gonna be able to get around to actually, you know, giving her a better set to work with, or having better gear to work with. And she's E6, of course, because she was on raid up at the beginning of the game, I believe. Alright, and then moving on to Pella here. Good old Pella. Very low HP at 2800 or 2850. This does worry me a little bit, but for the most part, it's not really an issue. Not too much of an issue anyway. Until I start playing Gold Gears 5 or Swarm 5. That becomes a problem. 2100 attack, 141 speed, so she's very speedy. A little bit of crit stats, but obviously I'm not really going for crits for her. She does have energy regen rope, and a lot of effect res, or not effect res, EHR. Makes sense though, because she's mainly debuff oriented, and a little bit of effect res here, 22%, not bad. Funnily enough, she does have ice damage boost. I may change that later, because that means that she has ice damage planar, so I could probably give her an HP planar instead, to be honest, so that way she doesn't die as fast. So yeah, I gave her tutorial mission from Silverwolf's event all the way back in 1.1, because my Silverwolf already has her own gacha icon, so I'm like, may as well give this to Pella, because yeah, she can use it really well too. And she is almost max traced out. I'm legit considering max tracing her out anyway, just because I use her so goddamn much. I don't consider Pell to be like my favorite character or like, you know, a waifu tier character, but just because of how much I frickin' use her and how useful she is. Yeah, I'm like legit planning. I'm legit like very close to like just making the jump and max crowning her. To be fair, I don't really think max crowning or max tracing Pella is really gonna do much, because yeah, all it does is increase her damage. Well, on her ult it increases the defense reduction, and on her talent it increases her energy that she gets back after, you know, she debuffs enemies. So yeah, I'll probably speaking from efficiency's standpoint, wow, English is hard. Speaking from an efficiency standpoint, I guess it would make sense to track her talent and ultimate, but not her skill, because all that would do is, you know, just increase the damage on her skill. But you know me, especially if you guys have watched my Genshin Whales logs, I go all out, right? I leave no stone unturned when it comes to maxing characters out. So. Yeah, if I'm gonna give her Tracks of Destiny for anything, I'm gonna just give her all of them right off the bat, because it's either, you know, go big or go home. At least for me. So yeah, she runs 4-piece thief. Makes sense with her, because yeah, she breaks enemies constantly. So if she gets even more energy out of it, then, you know, perfectly fine by me. And of course, 2-piece. What is it? Kingdom of Banditry. I do realize that my Pella does not have enough speed. She's almost there. She's at 141 speed. But then Kingdom of the Banditry set, the Talia set, the threshold is 145 for the extra break effect. So I'm gonna have to look for a better piece at some point that has better speed, I think. One thing I do want to say is that I do plan on switching my Ruin Mei over to the new break effect set that we got with Panakani, the one that gives extra break effect when she uses her ult, or when the user uses their ult. And so I could take a piece here that has a lot of speed and give it to Pella wherever, you know, she might not have speed. So actually but yeah, I'll take care of that later. Like, for example, these gloves have 6 speed. I wonder if I could replace Pella's gloves with that. I could, but that wouldn't be enough speed. It would give her 2 more, but then I would have to give her another, you know, another set somewhere that has speed. Not only that, but her gloves also have a good chunk of break effect on them. And I'm not sure if who is it? Ruin Mei's gloves have the same. Yeah, she doesn't have any break effect there, so that's gonna be an issue, bit of an issue. Yeah, I can't exactly give her a Ruin Mei's body piece because Pella wants EHR body, I believe. I suppose I could try looking for a different EHR piece that has speed, because it's not like I really want her to have attack or anything else. So it's like, whatever. So I could try looking for a better EHR body, now that I think about it, and pray that one of them rolls speed or something. She already has speed boots, so that's fine. Oops. And then, yeah, so she has ice damage boost. I will probably switch this to HP, because, yeah, like, what's the point of trying to buff her attack or her damage output? It's kind of strange. I do have this one, but it doesn't have speed. Ideally, I want to give her speed so that, you know, she can actually hit the 145 threshold with this set. And she already has energy regen, so that's fine. I could maybe look for another energy regen rope that has HP on it, but honestly, I think all I need to do is just give her an HP planar, and she'll be fine. I don't think I need to chase HP percent stop stats on her other relics. And she's E6, because she was on raid up at the beginning of the game, I think. All right, here's Bailu, 7100 HP. A little bit of speed, 127 speed. Not too fast, but I would say that's just about average. No energy regen. May consider changing that later. A little bit of effect res, EHR. I keep confusing EHR with effect res. But again, for who is it? Bailu, it doesn't really matter. And 29% effect res. I'm currently using her with this light cone. I believe this is the abundance light cone from Battle Pass, right? So yeah. I don't think I have any better light cones to give her. Maybe I could give her something like this. Actually, no. I went against using this on her because my Bailu doesn't really use her skill a lot. So she's not really going to be taking advantage of the energy regen part of this light cone. I could use this with her because this was one of our welfare 4-star light cones. But again, it relies on Bailu actually using her skill, and she doesn't really use her skill all that much. At least not in my experience. So yeah, I'm just running her with this for now. One day I may get her gacha light cone because you can buy it directly from the shop. But you know, I expect one day to get spooked by it instead from gacha anyways. So I'm not really too worried about that. And besides, I think my Bailu is fine with this. I think the only thing I would change is maybe give her, again, because she's geared out exactly like my Natasha. I would gear her out with, I would replace her rope with ER, because right now, obviously, it's on HP. So, yeah. She is almost, like, near max, because, again, she's a 5-star, so the trace level ups from 8 to 9 and 9 to 10 require Tracks of Destiny, so I don't want to give those to her right away, at least not now. And so yeah, same thing, same concern with Natasha. Like but to a lesser degree, because my Bailu is still like I don't really have any problems with Bailu's healing herself. So the urge to change her gear is not as high. So I can afford to just keep running her like this. But maybe eventually I'll look to change her her relics. But for right now, I think she's perfectly fine. See, and she's E1. This E1 copy denied me of my Huohuo, because I rolled for Huohuo back in 1.5, but I got spooked by Bailu instead. Worst part about it is that I really don't think, I really don't think Bailu's E1 is really all that great. So, it is what it is, I guess. But that's my Bailu. Luocha, so, he has 3800 HP, which is actually not bad. Considering he scales mainly with attack, and I built him as a DPS, as you can see here, which is which may be kind of strange, but it is what it is. 4,000 attack, 139 speed. He's actually really fast. Now that I think about it, I didn't realize how fast he was. But yeah, he has some crit rates. He has some crit stats on here, 65 to 80. It's not good, but I have built him as a DPS, as you can see here. For some reason, he also has really high break effect. Maybe it's coming from his light cone, his gacha light cone. I'm actually not sure where he's getting all this break effect from. He does not run energy regen. Perhaps I should consider running it on him. I don't know. But he's been working out fine so far for me. So he's been working out fine for me so far. So I don't really feel too great of a need to change his rope to energy regen. And barely has any effect res. Maybe I should change that or something. I don't know. I do need to check what his... Oh, yeah, that's right, because, what is it? He actually does not have any... he doesn't have a functional 2-piece ornament set yet. That's right, I keep forgetting to give him a better ornament set. Alright. Again, he does have his gacha light cone. Huh, he's not getting any break effect from here. Kind of weird. So yeah, I do wonder where he's getting all his break effect from. Maybe just his relics just happen to roll a lot of break effect, I guess. Gonna have to check that out. But yeah, he's he's also at 6888. And yeah, as you can see here, he's running 4-piece musketeer. That's probably you know, part of the reason why he's so fast. And he is not running a functional ornament set at all. I just kind of tossed him whatever, you know, I happen to have on hand, so yeah. I think ideally I want to try to build him, give him some better effect res stats. So that way, it should combo with one of his bonus abilities. I forget where it is. Is it this one? Yeah, it combos with this. I assume they stack, or this stacks with whatever effect res he already has. Yeah, so that way he can resist crowd control debuffs better. Because I've noticed that he unfortunately can't really resist enemy CC abilities or CC debuffs that well on his own right now. So I kind of want to change that, and then actually give him a functional ornament set, preferably broken keel, so that way, you know, more effect res. Though to be fair, that's gonna be kind of tough because I believe broken keel you need at least 30% EHR for the extra crit damage. If I'm not mistaken, is this broken keel? Yeah. Yeah, whereas effect res is at 30% or higher. So that's going to be pretty tough, because that means I'm going to have to find 20% effect res from his relics already. Currently as, what, like, only 7? So, like, his ornament set will need to roll, like, I don't know, 13%. Actually, not too bad. Like, getting 13% effect res from across 2 relics is actually not terrible. Like, it's reasonable. It's not too bad. But yeah, that is something I'm gonna have to focus on then. But yeah, all this time I've been running Luocha for like a year, and he still doesn't have a proper ornament set, and he still works just fine for the most part. So I guess a small testament to how good Luocha is, I guess, as a healer. Your mileage may vary. I think Luocha is great. And I think definitely if he gets once he gets a rerun, I think you should roll for him because he's just a very convenient healer to use. And he's only E0. I kind of wish I could roll for more Eidolons for him, because Luocha's Eidolons basically turn him into a multi-path character pretty much, where he starts off as Abundance, and then when he gets E1 he becomes a Harmony character, and when he gets to his E4, I think, he becomes a Nihility character, and when he becomes E6, again, another Nihility character. I believe he also becomes a Preservation character with E2 as well, so yeah. He becomes, he starts off as Abundance, then becomes Harmony, Nihility, and Preservation all in one once you reach his E4, and even more so if you get him all the way to E6. So, very versatile character, but obviously you don't need to get him all the way there. He's perfectly fine as is, even at E0. Anyways, Fushwen, my resident pink-haired character. Because if you know me, if you listen to me talk about my gacha games, almost every single one of my gacha games, I happen to have a pink-haired girl that I really, really like. But to be fair, Fushwen's hair is, yeah, I think that's still pink. Though you could argue it's like a very light shade of like purple, or like maybe lavender, something like that. I don't know. And maybe not lavender, but yeah, purple. Very purple girl. Alright, she has 6,300 HP. I actually built my Fushwen for DPS, as you can see from her stats. So she doesn't have as much HP as, say, like the free-to-play Fushwens do. So yeah, she's not as good at tanking enemies that, you know, standard Fushwens would be. But she can do a little bit of damage at least. In any case, she's got 132 speed, so she's kind of speedy. 48 crit rate. Effectively, this is 60% crit rate, because again, her skill gives everybody on her team, including herself, that 12% extra crit rate, and she's got 163 crit damage. Ideally, I wouldn't mind sacrificing a little bit of crit damage for more crit rate. I think having 70% crit rate would be kind of nice. But yeah, that involves me getting her some better relics. For now, though, she's got, again, quite a bit of break effect. Her relics must have rolled quite a bit. She does not have an energy regen rope. She doesn't really need it, in my opinion. And she's got a little bit of EHR. Doesn't really matter on her, though. And 41% effect res, which is quite nice. She has, what is it? Her perk, her one of her bonus abilities, where like every time she uses her skill, her team gets a one-time instance debuff immunity, I believe. It's either the debuff immunity or like CC immunity or something like that. I forget exactly which it was. But even without that, my Fushwen has a decent chunk of effect res, thankfully. Comes in handy every now and then. She does have her gacha light cone, and yes, this is where she's getting her extra energy regen from. And she is fully traced out, so that should tell you what I think about Fushwen. And again, because I'm running her DPS, I'm actually running her with 4-piece Quantum, because she's a Quantum character. And I'm running her with, let's see, 2-piece Inert Salsoda before the extra ult damage. So yeah. Maybe I should. Maybe I could consider running her with, I don't know, 2-piece Glam, the Glamoth set, however you pronounce that set. But I think this is fine for now. I'm not too anal about like making Fu Xuan do as much damage as possible. I just think it's kind of funny that I can run her as a DPS, all things considered. So, but yeah, ideally I think I would like to give her a little bit more crit rate. Maybe I'll go back and try to farm more Quantum pieces again if I can, and see if I can't get her some better crit rate stats. Like maybe try to pick up a crit damage body piece that has crit rate on it or something like that. I don't know, because that would certainly help. But yeah, those are my plans for now. And she's only E0. Ideally, I would love to roll for another copy of Fu Xuan when she gets a raid up, or when she gets a rerun, because I think her E1 is great. Would be perfect. Would be perfect for an even better support Fu Xuan build. Because yeah, at E1 she now starts to give her team extra crit rate and crit damage, which would be amazing. But yeah, that's all I got for Fu Xuan for now. Gepard, I've recently got him. Well, I say recently, it's probably been about a month or so. And even more recently, I actually managed to gear him up and actually use him. So he's got a very basic build. He's got 3,500 HP, lots of defense because I just shoved defense down his throat. 128 speed, not too fast, but he's up there because I did give him speed boots. Again, for a lot of break effect for some reason. Why do my characters all have like really high break effect for like no reason? Again, probably just all the substats that they've been rolling. To be honest, he does have ER rope, as you can tell by the extra 19%. While Gepard continues singing like an idiot. He has 70% EHR. How does he have this much EHR? Is that because of his light cone? And 36% effect res, which is kind of nice. I got his gacha light cone like ever since the beginning of the game. Like this is one of the first 5-star light cones that I actually got when I first started Star Rail back in last April, May. So I've had his light cone for a lot longer than Gepard himself, which is really funny. Yeah, he is getting quite a bit of EHR from the light cone at least. Let's see. So yeah, I ran this on my March. It was either my March or somebody else for like a long time. But I didn't really use March 7th a lot anyway. So I didn't really use this light cone in turn until I actually finally got Gepard. I was like, oh, finally, I can actually use his light cone on him. And so yeah, he's had it ever since. He is at 6888, pretty standard. A 4-piece knight, which is because that's the defense set meant for him. And then of course 2-piece Bellabog, because that makes sense on him too. Let's see. I mean, I guess it's quite convenient that he has like 70% EHR. Again, I have no idea where he's getting all this EHR from. I mean, he's getting some of it from his light cone again, but maybe also from his traces, I guess. No, but he only has effect res. He doesn't have EHR, I believe. Yeah, he only has ice damage boost, effect res boost, defense boost. That's about it. So something must be giving him a ton of EHR, and I just don't know where. Maybe his relics just roll a whole ton. Yeah, like his ring has 12%. His headpiece has 7%. Does his boots have any? Yeah, his boots have some more. Yeah, every single piece. I guess we just got really lucky with his pieces. And hot damn, that speed on his body piece too. Holy shit. But yeah, I guess all of his relics must have rolled a ton of EHR. Yeah, there you go. Literally, the only piece that he has that didn't roll EHR was his planar. So I guess that's quite convenient, because that way he can hit the 2-piece Bellabog's secondary effect quite nicely. And I did recently roll. This was actually very recent, like just the other day, when I noticed I had a full multi on the normal banner, the Stellar Warp banner. So I used it and I just got a random 5-star. I have no idea if it was early or not. I didn't bother checking. But I got a 5-star, and it turned out to be E1 Gepard. Which, I mean, ideally I would have preferred that to be like somebody like, Branya, or at the very least Himeko, because I actually like Himeko. But I mean, hey, I guess it could be worse. I could have gotten like another Eidolon for like Bailu or somebody. At the very least, with the E1 Gepard, yeah, he has his higher base chance to freeze. So now, technically speaking, his skill has what, 100% chance to freeze. But again, enemies have their own, you know, effect res stats. So obviously, it's not 100% all the time, but at least it's nice. So yeah, that's Gepard. Pretty standard. Black Swan, our newest addition. So I did get lucky and I did win the coin flip for Black Swan. I had to go to I think she was like my 81st roll or something, so she wasn't exactly kind on the soft pity there, but at the very least I did win her coin flip. So I am trying for her light cone. As you can see, she doesn't have it right now. I'm hoping that I win that too, but we'll see. I'm willing to spend like a pack or two to get her to secure her light cone if need be, if it comes down to that. I hope it doesn't, but we'll see. I'm gonna have to grind the events that we got going on right now for as much Stellar Jade as possible, so that way I can try to see if I can roll her light cone as complete free to play as I can. So I'm gonna have to get started on that pretty soon because I'm running out of time. Working on her traces currently. So as you can see, she's almost at 6888, and after she's done with that, after I'm done leveling her main skills or main abilities here, I'm gonna have to give her the rest of her, you know, bonus stats there. I do have a working relic set for her already. I've decided to go with 4-piece DOT because obviously DOT character, and 2-piece glam, as you can see here. So, and she's only E0 naturally. Can't afford to go for more copies of her right now. And currently, these are what her stats look like. Again, she doesn't have a light cone equipped, so yeah, her stats are not complete yet. But she has not much break effect, just a little bit. No ER rope, because why would you? At least on like offensive characters. Lots of EHR. I believe I forget how much EHR gacha light cone gives her. So I'm gonna have to see if I need a little bit more EHR. I think I should be good, because I want to say her gacha light cone gives her at least like what, 30% 30% EHR. Maybe not that much, maybe a little bit less, but yeah, she's her because Black Swans is I think 3rd bonus ability or whichever bonus it is. Basically says you want to get her to 120 EHR, so she's almost there already. And a little bit of effect res at 24%, and she's got wind damage planar. Those are her traces, relics. I know I said I wouldn't go into her like individual relic stats, but the funny thing with my Black Swan is that initially I rolled this one for her because it was my only wind damage boost planar that was in the glam set at the time, but then it rolled hella well into crit stats. I think this is my best planar relic that I have on my account. I think this is a 3-line start, but then it rolled 4 times into both crit stats, once into crit rate and 3 times into crit damage. So the hilarious part about this is that I actually don't have a wind character that I can use this on currently. Like, I considered giving this to like maybe Blade, but at the same time I don't want to like get rid of his Rudolent Arena set. Not only that, but I have to look for, if I do want to give this to him, I do have to look for a an HP % rope at some point, and I haven't gotten any more. I've tried looking for some, but they all kind of turned out to be trash. So yeah, I have this really, really good, like my best planar that I have on my account, and yet, you know, I can't even use it. So that's kind of funny, kind of hilarious. Unless I decide to build regular Daniel for whatever reason, but you know. So yeah, I just got this planar, really good planar, just kind of sitting around doing nothing. So I switched her to this planar, and it turns out this one's also really good too. And it has all the stats that she would actually want. Maybe we could replace, I don't know, effect res with like HP %, but honestly, I don't mind the effect res either. But yeah, this one rolled really, really well too. A little bit of attack, a little bit of speed, a little bit of EHR, a little bit of effect res, 1 down the line pretty much. So yeah, I'm really happy with both the planars. I've actually given her something about Black Swan and planars, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, she's still under construction, because I still need to finish building her. See what I did there. But yeah, I'll let you guys know next month or maybe in 2 weeks if she is fully built, and if I do have her light cone for her. But yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. Alright, Silver Wolf. 3400 HP. Not a whole bunch, but I run her as a DPS, so kind of to be expected. 2800 attack. I think that's a little bit under average, to be fair. 134 speed, 55 CR, 108 CD. Even though I built her as a DPS, her crit stats are not very good. And ideally, I do want to change that, but I just don't know when I can. She's got a little bit of break effect. Lots of EHR, because, you know, nihility. And no effect res whatsoever. That's funny. She does have her gacha icon, like I mentioned earlier when I was talking about Pella. And she is fully traced out, because she is alternate universe AU Bronya. And Bronya is my favorite character in the game, so there you have it. Again, because I'm running her with running her as a DPS, I'm running her with 4-piece Quantum and a 2-piece Space Ceiling Station. I think I should consider switching her over to something like, I don't know, 2-piece Glam again. See if I can do that. But that would require me farming more Glam pieces, and oh boy, that's always fun. But yeah, Space Ceiling Station is probably a little outdated by now. So I'll consider giving her something else. But I'll take care of that later. I'm not really too what is it, focused on giving Silver Wolf anything different at the moment, because as of right now she still works, she still does her job just fine. I don't feel a need to change anything about her just yet, but we'll see. We'll see if I feel a need to. Oh, and also, I did manage to go for E2 Silver Wolf. God, going for E2 Silver Wolf fucking kicked my ass, bro. I think I had to drop like literally $1,000 for E2 Silver Wolf and a copy of her gacha Lycon, because I believe I lost every single coin flip going for E2 Silver Wolf. I know this because at the same time, Lakari, for those of you guys who know him, also wailed for like E6 Silver Wolf, and he was able to get E6 Silver Wolf and her gacha Lycon another $900. So the duality of gacha games, I guess. The duality of gacha RNG. Sometimes you just get shit on for no real fucking reason. Sometimes. In any case, here's my Kafka, who is the exact opposite story in terms of how she treated me in gacha. She actually treated me very nicely, because I think I got her E2 and her gacha Lycon in under like $200 or $300. So like night and day difference as far as gacha experience goes between these two. In any case, her stats, she's got 3,300 HP. Only 3,500 attack, but she's really fast on 142. I recently changed her relics. Well, actually, I'll leave it for when I actually get into talking about her relics. So let's just go over her stats for now. 142 speed, some crit stats, but again, I don't run my Kafka as a crit DPS, so that doesn't really matter for me. 41% break effect, no energy regen, doesn't need it, and 48% EHR with 27% effect res. And then she uses her own gacha Lycon, obviously. Fully traced out. Kafka's one of my favorite characters in the game, but then again, for a lot of people who who isn't she the favorite character for a lot of people anyway. So anyways, yeah. Now let's talk about her relics. So I recently changed her to the proper DOT set. For the longest time, even after we got the DOT set and the follow-up set with our latest region expansion in Shenzhou, I still kept running her with electric or the 4-piece lightning set, even though it's really bad compared to a lot of other relic sets that we already have in the game. I still ran her with it because her lightning pieces actually rolled very well. So for the longest time I was kind of reluctant to change her, but finally I did. And so yeah, this is what she's working with now. 4-piece a DOT with 2-piece Glam. So I think this was the right choice. She did take a couple of hits to her stats. For example, she has slightly less HP than she had before. And in my previous build, my Kafka had over 4,000 attack. I think she had like 4,200, but this time she only has 3,500, which kind of sucks. But I think this is for the better. And she's also E2, like I mentioned earlier. But yeah, very happy with my Kafka build. Mr. Welt. I run him as a DPS because I do have him at E1. Now E2, actually. Forgot about that. But yeah, He has pretty low HP, only just barely over 3,000, 2,800 attack, 129 speed, and 64 CR, 107 CD. Stats obviously aren't the best, but they're decent. Good enough for him for now. A little bit of break effect at 24%. A little bit of EHR. He probably would appreciate having more EHR now that I think about it, because, you know, speed debuffs. And a little bit of effect res. I do use Goodnight Sleep Wall on him, because at the moment I do not have his gacha light cone. Yeah, the one that has him on it. I may even if I do get his gacha light cone, I may consider just running him with Goodnight Sleep Wall anyway. But we'll see. We'll see what I want to do. Maybe if I do end up getting spooked by his gacha light cone, maybe I'll just give it to him anyway. But who knows? But yeah, currently he has S5 Goodnight Sleep Wall because this is really good for DPS Nihility characters. He's at 6/8/8, and he's running 4-piece Imaginary. I am kind of considering giving him other stuff because the more I think about it, the less I actually like 4-piece Imaginary. Just because it's 4-piece effect, where it gives extra crit stats, even though it sounds nice. I don't know. It can feel quite restricted because for him to get for users to get the extra crit damage, like they need to be imprisoned. Well, actually on Welt that's not too bad because I think no, imprisoned enemies means that you have to break them, doesn't it? And so if that's the case, then yeah, that means that you effectively only get the bonus crit damage if you break enemies. And enemies don't stay broken for too long. Well, this is Imaginary. I believe Imaginary like delays the action, if I want to say, for against enemies that, you know, get broken by Imaginary. So that might not be too bad, but even still, yeah, like I said, the more I think about 4-piece Imaginary's effects, the less I like them. But then again, if not for 4-piece Imaginary, like what else would Welt even want, right? Maybe I should look up like a Welt guide and see what other what other relic sets that he can use. So if he even has another one that he can use. Actually, no, he does now. Now that we have Panacony, we have the new debuff set, right? The new debuff set that gives extra crit stats. Yeah, this one, the Pioneer set. Yeah, increases damage dealt to enemies with debuffs by 12%. Yeah, this is perfect for him. And gives him some extra crit stats that I really wanted to have. So yeah, that's perfect. I could actually legit just ditch 4-piece Imaginary and just switch him over to the new Panacony set, the new the Pioneer set. So maybe I'll keep that in mind for later and see what's up. I did also switch him over to a 2-piece Rudolent Arena because again he gets a lot of his damage, most of his damage from his skill, I want to say. And so yeah, this makes perfect sense on him. And again, he's at E2 now. I think before E1. Ideally, if you use Welt at all, you want to run him as sub DPS, mainly focus on him, you know, breaking enemies and debuffing them, speed debuffing them. But as soon as he hits E1, I think at that point you can start running him as a DPS because E1, I think it should increase his DPS quite a bit because it gives him a lot more. It increases damage potential by quite a bit, or at least it should. So yeah, those are my plans for Mr. Welt. Ruin Mei. So, our new Omega Meta Harmony support alongside Bronya now. She's got 5,200 HP, 147 speed, very speedy. No crit stats, obviously, it doesn't really matter on her. Ton of break effect, 157%. I believe that's enough for enough to hit her her max bonus that she gets off of one of her bonus abilities, I believe. So I think she's okay in that regard. I do have her with a ER rope, and she actually got quite a bit of effect res. That's pretty nice. I didn't realize she had 30% effect res. She does have her gacha light cone, which is great. She's fully traced out, so of course. I do like Ruin Mei a lot, even if she has a tendency to drug you for no reason. And she's on 4-piece Thief for now. And then she's got 2-piece Kingdom, 2-piece Talia. That gives her, you know, over 147 speed. So again, I do want to switch my Ruin Mei over to the new break effect set. because I think that is better for her overall, because the 4-piece thief set on her doesn't really make a lot of sense, because she's not going to be breaking anyone anytime soon, because the only way she can do toughness damage is through her basic. And, I mean, she does have the whole, like, oh, she increases the party's, like, weakness break efficiency, but, like, you know, she's only using her basic, so how often is that going to happen, right? Well, on the occasions that it does happen, on the few times that it does happen, she does hilarious amounts of damage, because she has so much break effect, but, yeah, the problem is that she doesn't break enemies too often, so what's the point? So, yeah, I do plan on switching her over to, the new break effect set that we got with Panacony, assuming that I get good enough pieces where they have enough speed so that, you know, she can still maintain her Kingdom of Banditry 145 speed bonus effect. So I'll take my time with her. I don't think my Ruin May needs to switch over to the new break effect set anytime soon, but eventually I do want to do that. So again, I'll take my time with her, and of course she is E0. Bronya, all right, favorite character in the game, my resident, my waifu character of the game, if you will. So she's got just under 5,000 HP, 131 speed, and as much crit damage as possible, 200% crit damage. I think that if your Bronya has 200+ crit damage, or somewhere around that number, she's perfectly fine. And everything else you can just kind of, all her other stats you can just kind of give her whatever you want. I believe she does have ER rope. I think this is combining with her gacha light cone. She has some of EHR, but again, doesn't really matter on her. And lots of effect res, because I believe I'm running her with the 2-piece broken keel. Have her gacha light cone. I actually have a couple copies of her gacha light cone from all the spooks that I've gotten over the months. I'm actually debating whether or not I just want to combine them all together and just stack them all my Bronya. I'm keeping these around just in case we get another character who actually really wants this, but like at the moment it's like, other than like, who is it? Other than Hanabi, I guess? Right? Who else would really want this? And Hanabi is a 5-star character, or a new limited 5-star character, so obviously she'll be coming with her own gacha light cone, so she's not really going to want this, unless of course you don't plan on going for a gacha light cone. Even then, like, actually, we'll see how strong her action pull with her skill is, because it's not as strong as Bronya's, which is 100%. It's only 50%, but, I guess we'll see. Because if her action pull is actually still very strong, even if it's only half that of, Bronya's, then she can actually legit use, Bronya's gacha light cone too, so holding off on merging these together, see if I end up having to use it for my Hanabi, assuming I even roll it in the first place. So, but yeah, I do have the option of just combining all my battle isn't over light cones together, just to beef out my, just to pimp out my Bronya even that much more. So, naturally, she's max traced, as you might expect, and she is on speed with the 2-piece broken keel, and yeah. Obviously, her body is on crit damage main stat. She's got speed boots. And I've already gone over her rope, ER rope, obviously. And I actually run HP planner, which is how my Bronya has so much HP. I don't build my Bronya to do damage. I think that if you do try to build Bronya to be a DPS of some kind, because you see her, you know, her 100% crit damage or crit rate bonus, and you think to yourself, oh my god, we can use her as a DPS. I think that's kind of stupid. I think that you should just play her as a pure support. I think, honestly, her bonus ability that gives her guaranteed crits is actually kind of a bait. And if you fall for it, then, you know, sucks to suck. So, yeah, I don't care about offensive stats on my Bronya much at all, except for crit damage, of course, because she actually scales with that for her ultimate's own crit damage buff for her team. But, yeah, just a quick little, you know, note on how I think you should build your Bronya. But yeah, very happy with this build. Especially because now that my Bronya is 131 speed, a lot of my DPSs are now faster than her, which means that they can go first and then my Bronya can pull up the turn again, so they basically act twice in a row. So that's quite nice. Still haven't gotten a Bronya spook. Her E1 would be very nice, but yeah, haven't gotten her again. Like, I actually have never rolled Bronya from gacha. The reason why I have Bronya is because I used her as my guaranteed 5-star pick when I did 300 rolls on Stellar Warp Banner back in the day. back last year. So, good thing I did, because I haven't gotten a... Because it was between her and Himeko. But I decided to go with Bronny because she looked a little better. And boy, was I right. So, yeah. Thank God I picked Bronny back then, because if it were not for that, I still would not have Bronny to this day. And that would suck. So yeah, that's my Bronya. Alright, our homie Jingyuan. I know that a lot of you guys don't like Jingyuan, and you call him mid-Yuan, but fuck you guys, I think he's great. He does have some serious problems, sure, but he was the one who carried my ass and allowed me to beat MOC 10 back in the day for the first time, I believe. So, yeah, y'all can go fuck yourselves. I think mid-Yuan is great. He's got only 3200 HP. His HP is kind of low, to be fair. Would like if he had a little bit more HP, but that's fine. Just under 3,000 attack, 128 speed. He's got 50% crit rate with 50 CR with over 200 CD. This is actually not bad because he has a bonus ability where it gives him 10% free crit rate. So in effect, he has 60% crit rate. I believe anyway. Unless that extra 10% is already counted here as part of his crit rate, but I don't think it is. Basically no break effect. I mean, it doesn't really matter on him. 15%, a little bit of EHR, but again, doesn't matter on him. Tiny amount of effect res. He does have his gacha light cone. I will say that even though I think Jingyuan is great, he does kind of heavily rely on his own gacha light cone. If he doesn't have it, then it's kind of a bro moment for him. So, I do have his gacha light cone, and I will admit that he does kind of need his gacha light cone more than most other 5-star characters in the game. He's at 6888, running a 4-piece, what is it, electric, or lightning set. I sound like a Tekken commentator with how many times I'm saying electric. I will probably switch him over to the follow-up set, because obviously he gets most of his damage from Lightning Lord, and Lightning Lord is considered a follow-up attack. So yeah, I'll probably do that at some point. I just don't know when. And of course, 2-piece Inert Salsoda, because that just makes perfect sense on him. And he's only E0, which is fine. Even with this build, I think my Jingyuan can still do a lot of damage. I mean, he's perfectly fine for pure fiction, so it's fine by me. But yeah, that's my Jingyuan. Nothing too crazy to see there. Himeko, I quote recently got Himeko. I got her, I think, when Topaz came out, because I got spooked by her trying to go for Topaz, which is fine because at the time the only character that I didn't have yet was Himeko, so I'm glad I actually have her now. But yeah, she's not very well built yet. Eventually I do want to like sit down and try to give her a better build. I just don't know what to build her as because she's kind of weird. She's kind of weird to build. Last I checked, but in any case, she's got just under 3,300 HP, just under 3,000 attack, 127 speed, 68 CR with 96 CD. A little bit of break effect, a little bit of EHR, decent chunk of effect res. Her gacha light cone I've also had for a very long time. I remember when I first started, when Starro first came out, I actually used this with my Serval actually back in the day. My freaking Serval had this, but now that I have Himeko, I can now finally use her with her own gacha light cone, so that's nice. She's at 6888. She's running 4-piece fire, which ideally I may switch that over to maybe the follow-up set, but I don't know. Even then, like, I'm not too sure if I want to build her with the follow-up set, because like she doesn't use her follow-up that much, only she's just like constantly breaking enemies. So I don't know, man. Not sure what I want to do with Himeko. So maybe I'll just keep looking for extra fire pieces, but I just don't know, man. Kind of stuck with her, honestly. But I do have at least 2-piece Inert Salsoda on her. Kind of makes sense on her. And she's only E0. Only got 1 copy of Himeko. So, there's my Himeko for you. Dr. Ratio, alright. Our free 5-star. Genshin could never. 3,500 HP. Decent chunk of HP, actually. I'm actually kind of pretty happy with that. Just over 3,000 attack. 128 speed. 71 CR. 125 CD. A little bit of break effect. Bit bit of EHR, which is nice because Dr. Ratio does have some debuffs of his own. And a little bit of effect res. Decent chunk. I did go for his gacha light cone, thankfully. And thankfully I got it, as in thankfully I got it. So that's quite a big help. Free crit damage is always nice. And then he is at 6888. And originally I think I started him off with 4-piece imaginary. But then I switched him over to 2-piece follow-up set and a 2-piece musketeer. I think for now I'll keep him with this. With what he has right here. But I'm kind of eyeing the debuff Panakini set, the Pioneer set. Because that way he can get even more crit stats. But at the same time, I kind of don't want to give up on his extra follow-up damage. Or his extra follow-up attack damage. Because extra 20% follow-up attack damage is really, really nice. Especially considering, you know, most characters who have a follow-up attack usually do a ton of damage with their follow-up attack. So, kind of makes sense. But yeah, this is how I've built him for now. One of my few characters, actually, that I've actually, like, intentionally built with double 2-piece sets. It's kind of rare in Star Rail, because most characters want to go for a full, want to commit to a, you want to commit to a full 4-piece build for most characters. And Dr. H is one of the exceptions where you have a choice to, you know, go to a 4-piece set or double 2-piece. Because they all make sense on him. E0 because he was free, so didn't bother rolling for a copy of him, obviously. And so, yeah. Dr. Ratio is great, man. Thank God MiHoYo gave him out for free. Again, Genshin can never. Yanqing. Even though he's at level 90, I actually don't have him built. The problem with Yanqing has quite a few problems with how he's designed. But back in that day, I tried leveling up, which is why he's at level 80. But yeah, I just never finished it. I just never finished him. And I just don't know when I ever will, because I have all these other characters that I want to work on first. And Yanqing's just kind of down there as like one of the 5 stars that no one really uses. At least, I think most people don't really bother using him, just because, in my opinion, he's just way too hard to build. He's very investment heavy, and like for what exactly? Especially now that we have Jinglu, it's like, why the fuck would you want to use Yanqing now that we have Jinglu, right? So, I don't know. It's pretty hard to use. I wouldn't mind seeing this dude get a buff at some point, but again, who knows? We'll see. For what it's worth, I at least do have his own gacha light cone for him, but yeah. Now that he does have his gacha light cone, maybe, perhaps, he's worth building. I'll probably still build him anyway. And see how he works out, but yeah. I just don't know when I'm gonna do that. Like, I haven't even finished his trace tree, for God's sake, so. There you go. I did run him with 4-piece ice for like the brief time that I actually used him. But yeah, obviously I took off all his pieces because I've been trying to get, I've given his better ones to other characters. Maybe I gave one of his pieces to like Jingli or something. He might not appreciate that, but that's what it is. So I would probably still run him standard with 4-piece ice. I don't know what I would give him for his follow-up, for his ornament set, really. Maybe glam, just to be safe. That's what I would imagine. Oh, I did get spooked by him twice, so he is at E2 for what that's worth. So, yeah, maybe I should try building him and see what happens. I don't know, though. It's gonna be tough. Not sure if I'll ever, not sure when I'll do it, if ever. Topaz and Numby. So, one of my favorite characters in the game. MiHoYo, I demand that you give her ass back. But besides that, 3,400 HP, almost 2,400 attack, 141 speed, 75 CR, 167 CD. A little bit of break effect. Not too much though. Barely any, to be honest. Barely any EHR. A small bit of effect res. Her utility stats didn't roll very well, but because they all roll into crit stats, I imagine. She does have a copy of her gacha light cone. Yeah, that should be her gacha light cone. She's max traced out, so again, that should tell you what I think about her. And she's actually working with 4-piece fire set. Ideally, I should switch her over to the follow-up set, because everything that Topaz does is a follow-up attack, except for her ult, but she doesn't actually attack with her ult, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, ideally, I should switch her over to, like I said, the follow-up attack set, if I can find where it is. This one? Yeah. Yeah. The follow-up set is definitely designed for her because she has a lot of hits on every single attack that she does, with Numby at least. So, well, except for her basic, but her follow-up attack, or Numby's follow-up attacks, and her skill, have a very high hit count. Both have very high hit counts. So it's mainly meant for those. So yeah, the issue is that her fire pieces actually rolled very, very well. Like, look at this fucking goggles, right? Her ring also rolled pretty damn well. Even her body piece rolled pretty decently too. At least it has some crit rate there, so that's quite nice. Even her speed boots, my god. This is, I think, a quad roll crit damage or something like that. I want to say it's a quad. Maybe it rolled 5 times. I actually don't know. I don't remember. Too bad the game doesn't tell you how your rolls distributed once they hit plus 15, or maybe there's a way to see it still. I don't know. But yeah, and she has 2-piece inert Salcedo. Maybe I should give her something else. Maybe I should switch her ornament set if I do actually take the time to switch her over to the full follow-up set, because in that case I could maybe switch her with run her with something like 2-piece Glamoth instead. But I will consider that later. It's just that for right now, my Topaz's pieces just rolled so amazingly that even if this fire set is not ideal on her, and let's be honest, it's not that great of a set to begin with. Yeah, no, like, I can't really bring myself to transition her relics somewhere else, transition her relics over to the follow-up set, because yeah, like, she doesn't really need it right now. Like, she does so much damage already. It's kind of insane. So yeah, maybe one day later I'll I'll take the time to switch it, but like, yeah, not now. Not now. And she's only E0, but as to be expected. How much worry we got? Wow, we got quite a bit more. Alright, Selly. Our first 5-star character. Our first limited 5-star character, that is. 2600 HP, 3400 attack, 133 speed, 63 CR, 141 CD. About 30% BE. A little bit of EHR, but I don't think she needs any. I don't think she has any debuffs, right? A little bit of effect res at 27%. She has her gacha light cone, which is excellent. Max traced out, and 4-piece quantum, obviously, with the 2-piece space ceiling station. These relics are very, very old for her. Like, these are some of the. I think my Selly was my first like fully built character back when I first was able to unlock 5-star relics back in like TL40 or whatever. So yeah, there you go. So it's in some need of updates. I mean, even still, my Selly can really hurt enemies. So it's not like I'm too worried about her, but yeah, like, definitely her ornament set could be updated to something more recent. Like, say, for example, 2-piece Glamoth or something like that. Though that would mean I would have to get one more speed stat somewhere, but that shouldn't be too hard, knock on wood. Oh, there I go, exiting the character menu again. But yeah, 2-piece space ceiling station for now, and then 4-piece quantum, naturally. And E2, because I tried rolling on Selly's banner to try to get intentionally spooked by the other permanent characters at the time, but I won every coin flip, so, you know. The gacha's a troll. One massive big troll. Trailblazer, alright. So, I actually do not run Fire Trailblazer. I actually run Physical Trailblazer. And the reason why is Fire Trailblazer is very good defensively, but, you know, defensive tactics and defensive characters were really good back in the beginning of the game, because obviously when a game first starts, especially like a gacha game, usually the go-to tactic is to just survive, right? Because you don't have resources, right? You don't have all the best characters in the game yet, and you certainly don't have the characters you do have like super Omega built to begin with. So a lot of the time players look to like more defensive characters, because if you can't kill enemies immediately or like super fast, then your next best option is to just survive, right? Just survive and get through a fight as well as you can. So Fire Trailblazer was really good back then. I mean, she's technically still good now, but the meta's obviously shifted more back to a more offensive nature, because now, like 10 months in, 10 months later or so, we have a lot of better characters now. At this point, people have a lot of the characters now fully built out, so now the strategy is, oh, just kill enemies, right? Don't let them, try to not let them touch you, even though this is Star Rail. Enemies are just going to punch you in the face anyways. At the very least, you can, get rid of them a lot more quickly than we could before. So that's why I've got my Trailblazer back on physical, because physical actually is a more offensive element for Trailblazers. So yeah, I've got my Trailblazer back on physical. She's not very well built though, as you can see here, but she does have 3600 HP, 2700 attack, 125 speed, 63 CR to 90 CD. A little bit of break effect, not much. A little bit EHR. I don't think she really needs EHR though. And then a little bit effect res. I do run her with the free-to-play 5-star 5-star light cone from Herta's store, from Herta's shop. So she's using that. And she's almost max trace. I think Trailblazer is the only 5-star, technically 5-star, who doesn't need an extra, a crown going from what, 8 to 9? Because yeah, otherwise why would I have done this? So yeah, she levels up like a 4-star character basically, I think. Because she's on physical for now, I'm running her with 4-piece physical set with 2-piece space ceiling station. And then, well, her Eidolons are free, so not really too much to see there. Daniel Alter, alright. The best DPS character in the game, naturally. In case you somehow didn't know that yet. 3500 HP, 2679 attack, 137 speed, so he's very speedy. 61 CR to 184 CD. Very proud of his crit stats. Ideally, I would like him to have 70% CR, but I mean, I'm not really complaining, or I can't complain right now. A little bit of break effect, a little bit of BE. 27% EHR, which I don't know how he's getting this much. Probably, from all those EHR substats, I would imagine. He doesn't even need any of it anyway, because like he's not really debuffing anybody, so. Except unless he breaks them, but that's something different entirely. Yeah, this is gacha Lycone, naturally. I've heard some people say, especially my own chat, that you shouldn't go for Daniel if you also can't go for his Lycone at the same time, which I think is a load of bullshit. Because like Daniel is like very clearly the best DPS in the game. We have the single best DPS we have in the game right now, if I can speak proper English. And, like, whether you have his gacha Lycone or not is kind of irrelevant. Obviously, his gacha Lycone makes him much stronger. But then again, that goes for basically all 5-star gacha Lycones in the game, with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions. But, like, yeah. I don't think you should skip out on Daniel, or you shouldn't have skipped out on Daniel. Is Daniel Alter on radar right now, actually? Let me actually check. Yes, he is, actually. At least at the time of this video recording. So, yeah. I think that you should absolutely try rolling for him. Like, if anybody's the face of the meta right now, it's this dude. And yeah, like, it doesn't matter if you plan on rolling his gacha Lycone or not. You should roll Daniel. He's just a little too strong to not roll for. At least if you care about meta in this game. So, which I assume is a lot of you. So yeah, I switched him over to 4-piece Musketeer with 2-piece Glamoth. Or 2-piece Glam, however you say that word. I used to run him with 4-piece Imaginary, but then I finally said enough is enough. I'm switching his ass over to 4-piece Musketeer, and I gotta say it was a huge buff for him. Not only does he have better stats, but also, yeah, I should have been running him with 4-piece Musketeer all this time. But at least now he is. Especially with the 2-piece Glam as well, helping him out. Because he does have 137 speed, so he does qualify for the first layer, the first damage buff, I believe. The 12% damage buff. So yeah, that's very nice. He's only E0, but honestly, he doesn't really need his Eidolons. He's just really, really strong, just to begin with. So I feel no need to roll more Eidolons on him personally. Mr. Blade. He's got 6,500 HP flat and 126 speed. Ideally, I'd like to give him some more speed, but that might be a little tough. He's got 68 CR with 150 CD. Tiny bit of BE. A little bit of EHR, which I don't think really matters on him, because again, he doesn't put debuffs on people. Aside from wind shear, but that's only when he breaks them, I think. And decent amount of effect res, actually. At 33%. Not bad. And then what we got here? What I got is Gacha Light Cone, naturally. And he's 6888 with the 4-piece HP set, which gives him extra crit rate, so that way he hits 70% crit rate and qualifies for the extra skill damage, the skill and basic damage off of Rudolent Arena. Some people have suggested in my chat for me to switch him over to 2-piece Inert Salsodo, which I may consider doing, but for now, I think I'm going to keep running him with the Rudolent Arena, because you use his basic attack very consistently, whereas with you don't use his ultimate and his follow-up attack all the time, though, you know, to be fair, his follow-up attack is very strong. But for now, I'm comfortable with the 2-piece Rudolent for the time being. Only E0. I think, for the record, I think that Blade, Daniel, and then Jinglu are from earlier. Wherever she is. She's around here somewhere. Oh, right. She's all the way up in front because she's in my team right now. These 3 destruction characters are like the 3 best characters in the game. Because the meta is still like 80% destruction or like splash damage. And they're all capable of splash damage. I think if we were to go in order, Daniel is the strongest, Jinglu is the second strongest, and then Blade is the third strongest. But they're all very, very good. Like you should have at least one of them to clear, like, you know, more end game stuff, in my opinion. But yeah, I think the only things I want to change on Blade is maybe look for some better speed stats wherever I can. Yeah. So that way, what is it? I want to try to get him to be faster than my Bronya, so that way he goes first before my Bronya, and my Bronya can pull his turn back up again immediately once after he goes. So I'm gonna have to look for some better speed stats somewhere. I could try looking for, like, God, I hope I get a better planar, because his planar right now is fucking trash. Again, I would love to use this one on him. This would be so much better, but I don't know, man. For now, I'm going to have to try to look for, hopefully, a better wind planar that has HP percent on it or something like that. HP percent and speed or something like that. Anyways, moving on to Clara, our last 5-star here. She's got 4,000 HP, or just under 4,000 HP. They're almost 3,200 attack, 115 speed. I really want to give her more speed, because I have her with 2-piece SSS, and that means that she doesn't even qualify for the 120 the bonus attack buff that you get when you get characters to 120 speed. So that kind of blows, because I think none of her pieces rolled any extra speed stats at all, which fucking sucks. So she does have 58% CR with 120 CD. I guess her crit stats aren't too bad for what that's worth. A little bit of break effect. Not bad, because, you know, Clara can break enemies quite quickly, thanks to her follow-up attacks, or thanks to her counter attacks. A little bit of effect res. I don't think EHR really matters on her. Pretty sure. She does have a Gacha Light Cone. I got her Gacha Light Cone before I got Clara herself. So, yeah, running her with that. 6888. With the 4-piece physical and 2-piece space ceiling station, like I mentioned earlier. Again, it sucks that none of her relics rolled any speed, so that way, and because of that, she can't even get space ceiling station's extra 12% attack buff. So, that kind of sucks. Only E0. I don't really use Clara often. I do know how strong she can be, because, you know, counterattack playstyles are very strange, or not strange, very strong. Wrong word. In turn-based games. Because you're basically using the enemy's turns to attack, which means you're basically getting a free turn. Alright. Going into the 4 stars now. Lynx. She has 5,700 HP, 142 speed. Crit stats are negligible obviously, because she's a support. She makes a fire. No ER. I'm maybe considering running her with ER. So that that way she can get her ult faster, because I have had problems with her not getting her ultimate quickly enough. She's got a lot of EHR for some reason. Again, I don't know why. But she has 83% effect res, and the reason why is because I'm actually running her with S5 Perfect Timing, and Perfect Timing is the Abundance Light Cone that lets you build a healer for an effect res build, as you can see here. So she's getting 32% effect res, and her healing output is increased by however much effect res she does have. So, yeah. At the time I got Lynx, I noticed I had an S5 Perfect Timing, so I was like, alright, I'm going to commit to building Lynx as an effect res healer. And so, yeah, that's why she has so much. Who is it? My Lynx is only E3, so that's why her numbers look a little weird here, as like, say, oh, her what is it, skill is at level 12 or 11, but her others are only at level 9 out of 10, so, but yeah. Fully maxed out traces minus tracks. I'm also running her at 4-piece speed and 2-piece broken keel, so that's very nice. Again, I think the only thing I would change is perhaps her rope, and change it over to ER rope. Because I think even if she doesn't have her rope, I think that should still be okay, because she'll probably drop down to like under, like sub 5,000 HP, maybe like 4,500 HP, but honestly, even then, that doesn't really matter too much, because obviously, you know, your DPSs are the ones that you have to worry about actually dying, not necessarily your healer, unless, like, you know, enemies just focus them down or something like that, which would suck, but most of the time that shouldn't really happen. But yeah, I'm strongly considering changing her rope over to ER instead of HP percent. And again, she's at E3. March, I haven't really built her yet. I did level her up and stuff, but as you can see here, she's not really well built. Like, I haven't even gotten her light cone, the light cone that she does have, to max level yet. Just really haven't had a reason to, like, build her much. Because, again, March is a more defensive character. So, yeah. Like, I never really used her back when he first started, back when the game first launched. And so, and I have even less of a reason to use her now. So, kind of a shame, because March is cute. And I do want to use her, but she's not really, like, I don't really feel a need to use her, because again, most of her shit is like defensive and like stally in nature, and that's not what you really want right now. So maybe in the future we'll get like a game mode, like a separate game mode where like the name of the game is to like debuff people, or like just to specifically stall, in which case then March 7 will become good again. But yeah, as of right now, don't really feel a need to level her up too much. And again, as you can see, I haven't even focused on her traces too much. I mean, I was working on them at one point, but yeah, not really much anymore. Her what is it? Relic sets aren't even finished either. I mean, obviously, just by the looks of this, I would have given her the 4-piece defense orbital set, and probably the what is it? The Bellabog ornament set as well. She is E6, though, for what that's worth, but again, haven't really used her much. Again, which is a shame, because I like her. I like March, but can't really think of a reason to use her right now. So she's kind of low priority. Ganaifen, a 4-star that I actually use. She has less than 3,000 HP, which is very low, so she's prone to getting, like, one-shot by the trash can dudes, for example, or that you find around Pinacony. 2700, 2800 attack, 131 speed. Crit stats don't matter on her because she's DOT. 70% break effect, that's quite a bit. No energy regen, she's, you know, a DPS character, so, or a DOT character, so she doesn't really need ER. 69 EHR, which is nice. And 20% effect res. I do have S5 Eyes of the Prey on her. If I don't get Black Swan's gacha light cone, I will probably give this to Black Swan instead, because I think I have a couple spare copies. Oh no, I actually don't have a couple. I only have one spare copy of Eyes of the Prey, so I'll have to level that one up and give that back to Ganaifen. But in any case, she is almost max traced out, minus the tracks, of course. Or max traced out minus the tracks of Destiny. Trace, track. Yeah. Tongue twister. I am also running her with 4-piece fire. But again, I'm going to have to switch that over to 4-piece DOT, obviously, at some point. And maybe perhaps switch her ornament set as well. How much speed does she have? 131? Yeah. Gonna have to get her to 135 speed then if I want to keep using her with 2-piece glam. And she is E6. I believe she showed up with like somebody like Kafka. I forget who exactly. Probably Kafka. Because the only way I would have her at E6 is if I actually rolled quite a bit for like a 5-star character. And legit, I think the last 5-star character that I rolled multiple Eidolons for was like Kafka probably. So, yeah. It's either that or I must have gotten a lot of copies of her over the months. Here's Luca. I was planning on building him, but then I kind of stopped halfway through, unfortunately. So his stats are pretty incomplete at the moment. I do have him with Resolution, or his Pearls Lycone. I'm pretty sure that's him on it. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't even maxed out his traces yet. As you can see, as you can tell, I was working on it, but didn't quite finish him out. He does technically have a full relic set ready to go, but then I want to give him a crit rate body piece, or at least that was the plan. But then I took the crit rate body piece he had, and I gave it to either Clara or my Trailblazer. I forget who. But yeah, he is E6, so again, I must have rolled him on like Kafka's banner or whoever he was on rate up with. So unfortunate. But yeah, maybe I'll build Luca eventually at some point, but as of right now, I don't really have a reason to. Sampo, good old Sampo. So he's got 2800 HP, 3200 attack, 143 speed. He's very speedy, very fast boy. No crit stats, doesn't matter. A little bit of break effect, lots of EHR, and decent chunk of effect res. I'm running it with not 4-piece. What the fuck? I'm running it with S5. Good night and sleep well, so that way it buffs up his damage as much as possible. He's max traced out minus tracks, and then he's on 2-piece speed, or yeah, 2-piece musketeer, 2-piece eagle, which is the wind set, and a 2-piece space English station. Again, ideally he should be on a 4-piece follow-up set. Along with like, you know, maybe an updated 2-piece glam set as well. But his pieces rolled so goddamn well. Again, it's one of those cases where like, yes, technically you could have a better ornament set, a more updated ornament set, or just relics in general. But the relics that he does have rolled so goddamn well that I just don't want to change them. Like, he's got a ton of attack coming from his hat and a little bit of EHR to go with that. Again, more attack from his ring, more EHR, a little bit of effect res. His body piece is EHR that also rolled quite a bit of attack, some speed as well, a little bit of break effect. Speed boots that rolled a bit of attack percent, though the flat HP rolls don't really help. His rope rolled speed, 1 speed only, but rolled a little bit of effect res and break effect. Actually, his rope isn't too good. I could afford changing that if I really wanted to. But his planar, oh man, his planar rolled attack percent and like 3 times in the speed. So he's very, very speedy. So overall, his relics rolled very, very well. And I don't really have a problem with how he performs now. So the marginal benefit that you would get from me trying to transition him over to like a more updated kit is not really worth it for me at the moment. So he's staying as is for now. He's also E6, so there you go. Yukong, another fox waifu, or fox girl waifu. So she's got 3200 HP, kind of low. Wish it were higher. 2800 attack, 127 speed, and this might surprise you, but I actually run my Yukong as a DPS with crit stats, with 61.3 CR and 123 CD. In my opinion, just from how Yukong is built, I think ideally you just build Yukong as a DPS because you might as well. But again, that's very tough to do, especially for a 4-star, so that's up to you if you want to run her like that or not. I was able to pull it off. But yeah, she's got 30% BE, No EHR, doesn't really matter on her anyways. And a little bit of effect res. And I do have a Planetary Rendezvous with her, because I think that, yeah, Planetary Rendezvous is like the only offensive harmony light cone, I think. There might be another one that I'm forgetting, but this one was the best one I could find on her. It made the most sense anyway. So, yeah. And whenever I do use Yukon, which isn't too often, unfortunately, but whenever I do use her, it's usually in like an imaginary team, or like mono imaginary, or with like an imaginary teammate. So, works out. I should probably max Tracer. Yeah. Considering I really like Yukong, even if I can't get to use her very much. So I'll probably track her, or give her 3 more tracks of Destiny later on down the line when I can afford it. She's running 4-piece Musketeer with 2-piece Space Sealing Station. How much speed does she have actually? Only 127. Okay, she's not as fast as I thought she might be. But yeah, her pieces rolled very well. Lots of speed here, double crit. Some more speed here, again, double crit. Her boots rolled very well. Unfortunately, this rolled like 3 times in the break effect. I kind of wish it went into her crit stats instead, but it is what it is. Oh, and she has attack percent boots as well, not even speed, so that's kind of funny. And then, oh, this is, I think, one of my best body pieces, because this rolled crit rate, and this rolled like 3-4 times into crit damage. So, yeah. Very nice. And her rope also rolled pretty damn well, too, funnily enough. And then lastly, her planar. Her planar is the only one, is obviously by far her weakest one, but honestly, even with this one, it didn't even roll that bad either. Because like, it could have been a lot worse. I think it rolled once, like maybe flat HP, but the rest of the rolls went into speed and then 3 times into attack percent, I think. But yeah. I could change this, to be fair. Like, let's say, for example, let's see if I have any extra imaginary Space Sealing Station planars. I mean, there's one, but that's pretty trash. There's another one, but again, that one sucks. See if we have any more here. Nope, I do not. So yeah, she's stuck with that for the time being. But yeah, I guess I could change her planar at some point, so that way it gives her even more crit stats. But yeah, as of this moment, don't really need to. I don't even use Yukong that much anyway, especially because she's already at E6. But yeah, I do try to use her as often as possible. She's just very hard to use, unfortunately. Anyways, Esta. So she's got 5,000 HP. You can tell I run her with HP planar. Only 1,800 attack, 152 speed, very speedy. Crit stats don't matter. I don't build her. I haven't built her as a DPS. Decent amount of break effect, because Asta can break enemies pretty fast. Can, because her skill damage is RNG. Energy regen rope. A little bit of EHR, but I don't think EHR really matters too much on Asta. And then a little bit of effect res at 26%. Again, I run her with Dance. I don't know if I've rolled more copies of Dance, actually. Maybe I have? Let's see. Yes, I have, actually. So, what I can actually do here is I will enhance it live on stream. Or on stream. Live on video. 1, 2, 3, 4. Auto add like this. Boom. Alright, and my Asta has S5 Dance. Just like my Tingyan. So hopefully she'll be able to pull up her allies, her teammates' turns that much better. Makes sense because she buffs speed as well, so makes perfect sense actually. She's max traced out minus the tracks, and then I used to have her on something else. I forget what. I think she was on Thief set actually. Yeah, because I was like, oh, she can break enemies pretty fast because of her skill and yada yada yada. But I switched it over to speed set not too long after. She is still on 2-piece fleet though. I'm wondering if I could get that to be something different though. Maybe like Broken Kill, maybe. I'm gonna have to see, but yeah. She is also E6. Yeah, that's my Asta build. Again, HP planar, because I don't really care for her to do damage. So yeah, I rarely have to worry about Asta really dying first, because usually she doesn't. Qingche, alright, so my Qingche has 3200 HP, 2600 attack, or 2700, 130 speed, and some crit stats. I haven't really worked on Qingche's build very much. I just kind of gave her whatever happened to show up first. So yeah, her crit stats are not good. They're pretty mid, to be honest. So yeah, only 59 CR, 90%, 90 CD, not even. 18% BE with a little bit of EHR. I don't even know if she wants EHR. I don't think Qingche puts debuffs on people. And a small bit of effect res at 15%. I believe this is her Battle Pass Light Cone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. It's one of her best ones, I think. So, makes sense anyway. Fushu in the background as well as a nice little bonus. She is fully traced out, minus tracks. And she does have 4-piece Quantum because she's a Quantum character. And I did give her 2-piece Rudolent Arena, so that's nice at least. Because if you guys have never used Qingche before, Qingche is basically the poor man's Daniel altar. Works very similarly. And she's also E6, so yeah. Even with these sorts of crit sets, it's still hilarious using her in, like, say for example, Simulated Universe and running her on the Elation build or something. Or even right now with the Gold Gears game mode. I actually wonder how good she is in Gold Gears when you run her with Erudition, actually. Because I think she has an AoE ultimate. So that'd be kind of funny to think about. But, yeah. I do have a usable Qingche. She's just not, you know, amazing or anything. Same thing with my Herta. She's got 3100 HP, just under 2000 attack, 127 speed, 64 CR with only 61 CD, so yeah, her crit sets are not good. She also has 51 BE, that makes sense, but like 44% EHR. I don't know why she needs this much EHR. Pretty sure she doesn't even put debuffs on people. Maybe she does, I don't know. I don't use Herta that much, except for like Pure Fiction, obviously. And 24% effect res. I do run her with S5 Birth of the Self. I believe this is her preferred light cone. Unless there's a 5-star one that's even better. Which there may be. Fully traced out, minus tracks. And then I did take the time to switch her over to the full 4-piece follow-up set. I think I'm pretty sure as soon as 4-piece follow-up set came out, I went over there to farm a full set for her. Because I was building Herta at the same time, at around the same time that we got the new follow-up set and the other set, the DOT set. So worked out. It's just that individual pieces are not very good, so unfortunate. And naturally, 2-piece Inert Salsoda, because that just makes the most sense on her. E6. And there's my Herta. Even with her stats being not very good like this, she still completely shits on Pure Fiction. So, highly recommend you guys level up your own Hertas specifically for Pure Fiction. Because even if you can't give her, you know, that good of a set or that good of stats, she can still murder Pure Fiction anyway, as long as she's got the right, you know, relic set and she's got a decent light cone to go with her. So. Just a suggestion for you guys if you guys haven't built Herta yet. I mean, the game does give you free copies of her, a couple copies of her to you for free, so you might as well. Sushang, so I've built her, or I've leveled her up, but right now she's not completely built yet. I think she's missing, well, obviously she's still missing her light cone. She is max traced out, or she is max traced, minus Tracks of Destiny, of course. And her relic sets are actually mostly complete. I just need to level up this and see how this rolls, because this can be potentially a really good one. But knowing my luck, or knowing our luck with the relics, just as a player base, it's probably just going to turn out to be shitty. She is also E6. So yeah, my Sushang is actually almost fully built. I just need to find a decent light cone for her. Oh yeah. I actually could run her with swordplay. Oh yeah, that's what I remember. She used to have swordplay, S5 swordplay, but then I gave it to my Dr. Ratio initially before I got him his 5-star gacha light cone. And so now that he has his gacha light cone again, actually I can actually give swordplay back to Sushang again. So that's cool. So yeah, all that needs to be done now is just level up her relic, pray that it rolls mostly into crit stats, and she'll be good to go. Though to be fair, I'm actually not sure if I'm even going to use her in the first place, but then again, I don't really have a better physical DPS, or the physical DPS that I do have right now aren't that great to begin with, so... And I don't have Argenti either, so... Might as well rely on Sushang, I guess. Assuming that her crit stats roll pretty well for her last planar. Xie, alright, so she's got 3500 HP, 2500 attack, 132 speed, 66 CR with 80 CD. Let's see, good chunk of break effect. 19% EHR, I don't know if she needs EHR, probably not, and 19% effect res. Because she's destruction, I've given her S5 secret vow. I've been wondering when I could use this, and finally we got a character that I can give this to. So yeah, she now has this. Max traced out minus tracks, and then 4-piece quantum because she's a quantum character with the 2-piece space healing station. Again, I could probably run her with the 2-piece glam instead. I would just look for more speed stats somewhere. 2 more speed rolls, I think. And she is E2 because I think she was on raid up with... God, I forget who she was on raid up with actually. Now that I think about it, and I do not remember, or I can't remember. Alright, and I believe all the other characters here are characters I still have yet to work on. Hook, Serval, Daniel, regular Daniel, Arlen, and Misha. I'll probably level Misha when I get the chance, just because I think Misha's kit looks interesting. I want to try him out and see how he works exactly, but that'll probably be a long time coming, so... Reminds me of Ganyu with how, with his sleepy idle animation. But yeah, that should be it for my account for this Wales log. Yeah, this video has already been going on for over an hour and a half now, so yeah. I guess I'll show you guys the rest of my progress next month, like my map exploration progress and other things as well, whatever I feel is relevant. So yeah. Thanks for sitting through yet another over an hour and a half long Wales log. I mean, it was going to be this long just because, you know, I was going over every character in the game. So. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching, listening in. For those of you guys who have even bothered, you know, sticking around until the end here. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys next month. And hopefully next month's Star Rail Wales log isn't going to be half a month late like it was today. I mean, I do put out quite a few late Wales logs, to be fair. But, yeah, I always tell myself, oh, I'm going to be on time this time. I'm going to be on time this time. Sometimes I am, but other times, you know, shit just happens. And, you know, I end up not making a Star Rail Wales log until like a half a month into the, like halfway into the month. So, but, you know, better late than never. So anyways, again, hope you guys enjoyed listening. And we'll see you guys again next month. So, peace.